I love creating the podcast. If you have enjoyed the episodes in any way, the best way to support me is my subscription link. For as little as $3 a month, you can help support the time and production cost included in producing the podcast. Welcome to the Essence of Life podcast. My name is Barbara Ann Briggs, and I'm a certified teacher of Transcendental Meditation and also a certified consciousness advisor. I'm an author, and I have a YouTube channel called Living Wisdom. The three books which I've written are called, the first book is called The Contribution of Mahashi's Vedic Science to Complete Fulfillment in Life. In this book, there are over 100 quotations by Mahashi, and it gives a very clear understanding of the fundamentals of Mahashi's Vedic science. The second book is called Pilgrimage on the Path of Love. It's the story of a woman's journey in the Himalayas. And the third book is called Guide to Good Health, 7 Simple Health Hacks. And it goes into the fundamental ideals of how to maintain good health and prevent disease. The title of today's podcast is Discover Your Inner Wealth. In today's podcast, I will be reading from 2 stories which illustrate how our inner wealth is really the greatest treasure that we have. Once there was a king who received a gift of 2 magnificent falcons from Arabia. They were peregrine falcons, the most beautiful birds he had ever seen. He gave the precious birds to his head falconer to be trained. Months passed, and one day the head falconer informed the king that though one of the falcons was flying majestically, soaring high in the sky, the other bird had not moved from its branch since the day it had arrived. The king summoned no one could make the bird fly. He presented the task to the member of his court, but the next day the king saw through the palace window that the bird had still not moved from its branch. Having tried everything else, the king thought to himself, maybe I need someone more familiar with the countryside to understand the nature of this problem. So he cried out to his court, go and get a farmer. In the morning, the king was thrilled to see the falcon soaring high above the palace gardens. He said to his court, bring me the doer of this miracle. The court quickly located the farmer, who came and stood before the king. The king asked him, how did you make the falcon fly? With head bowed, the farmer said to the king, it was very easy, your highness. I simply cut the branch where the bird was sitting. We are all made to fly, to realize our incredible potential as human beings. But instead of doing that, we sit on our branches, clinging to the things that are familiar to us. The possibilities are endless, but for most of us, they remain undiscovered. We conform to the familiar, the comfortable, the mundane. So for the most part, our lives are mediocre instead of exciting, thrilling, and fulfilling. So let us learn to destroy the branch of fear we cling to and free ourselves to the glory of flight. The second story, which I would like to read to you, is a story related by Anandamayi Ma. The name of the story is God's Seat is in Man's Heart. A wealthy man was lying on his deathbed. One day he called his son and said, "Look, son, I shall be leaving you very soon. Do not open the Almirah which I have kept on the corner of my room, unless you get into a very bad state and become utterly helpless and miserable." Saying this, the man closed his eyes forever. Now the son was extremely extravagant, and within a very short period exhausted all the money he had and became penniless, so much so that he could not even provide for the barest necessities of life for his family. At this juncture, he remembered the words of his dying father about the Almirah and opened it. But to his utter disappointment, he found the Almirah contained nothing except some worn out scraps of cloth. So out of dejection, he threw those outside the room and started to dig the place with the hope of finding some hidden treasure. But it was all in vain. At that moment, a sadhu was passing by that place. Seeing the sadhu, the son ran up to him and solicited his help. The sadhu agreed to come to his rescue and came in along with him. Going near the Almirah, he looked at it for a while and said, "I want to examine the Almirah, so please give me a seat near it." Sitting near the Almirah, first of all he threw away the rags out of it, and then began to scrape off the black varnish painted on it, and in no time he exclaimed, "What a wonder! Behold, this Almirah is made of gold." Hearing him, all the inmates of the house assembled there, and looking at the Almirah, their joy knew no bounds, and they fell at the feet of the sadhu. Again they became very rich and spent their days happily making good use of their wealth. Narrating the story, Anandamayi Ma commented, "Everyone's heart is a gold Almirah, which is God's seat. One has to remove simply the outer paint over it and to make it empty, and God will be found adorning the heart." End quote. So in both of these stories, we see that the hidden treasure of life is found within. The falcon who was afraid to leave the branch didn't know that he had the full potential to soar high up into the sky, just like any other bird. He had no limitations except the limitations which existed in his own mind. And in the same way, the family possessed the gold Almirah, but they didn't know it was in their possession until a sadhu helped them realize that they only had to scrape off the black paint which was hiding the beautiful treasure of the gold Almirah beneath it. So in the same way, our life contains the treasure of enlightenment, of unbounded, blissful life, totally in harmony with the will of God. But we only have to scrape off the impurities, the stresses which hide the treasure which lies within. And we only have to get rid of the fear of flying, and then there will be no limit to how high we can fly and how much we can accomplish and how much bliss we can enjoy in our lives. So these were the two stories I wanted to share with you today. And if you have enjoyed this podcast, I'd like to invite you to my YouTube channel, Living Wisdom with Barbara Briggs. And you can also come to my website, barbaraannbriggs.com, and learn about the different blogs that I've written and the different books which are available for you to order on Amazon. So it's been a great pleasure speaking to you today, and I look forward to sharing many more aspects of consciousness and the development and expansion of consciousness in my future podcasts. Until we meet again, very, very best wishes to you.